I've thought about it hard, and I've decided today I will resign as a Member of Parliament for Clacton-on-Sea, thereby forcing a by-election, which would happen, I hope, in short order.
Well, there we have it. Rarely is the word bombshell used in politics correctly, but that is about as big a bombshell as you can get. Nigel Farage, declaring himself Mr. Angry, has resigned his seat in Parliament to fight a people versus the establishment by-election in Clacton. After weeks of stories and leaks around his personal finances, the leader of Reform had been rumoured to be furious. We saw a bit of that when he landed at Heathrow Airport yesterday morning after journalists had knocked on the door of his daughter, who he said is a private citizen and nothing to do with politics. And that anger has now boiled over into, well, the set piece of the summer. Andy Burnham coming in as Prime Minister. The first thing he's going to have to do is tackle Nigel Farage head on. Now, look, people within Reform have been looking at this as a nuclear option. If they believe that the establishment media, as they see it, attempts to bring down their man got too much, this is the ultimate ace he can play. They are extremely confident he would hold any such hold that seat in any such by-election. His popular vote in Clacton, despite the best efforts by opposition parties suggest he's unpopular down there and never there or rarely seen, it's pretty strong. So, teeing up a big old summer of establishment versus the people. He thinks he's going to be able to clear his name. But there are still a lot of questions around Nigel Farage's expenses. He says that, he did nothing wrong. He did not break the law. He was a private citizen. That is open to interpretation when you look at the rules of when you become an MP, as he did in July 2024. You have to declare what has been received by you within benefit of the doubt within the last 12 months. It is clear he hasn't done that. Now, Farage's view, as he told me in an interview just a few weeks ago, is the people of Clacton don't care about that. They see an establishment closing ranks, trying to stop reform. They tried to cancel the elections. The local elections they did very well in. That he made that point there in his speech. And he says they've been trying every trick in the book above board to stop reform, and now they're using foul means, underhand tactics. And he lumped vast parts of the mainstream media into those attacks and says, well, look, let the people decide. I'm not going to be judged by a standards committee that he says is being politicised, or TV networks or newspaper editorials. He's going to let the people of Clacton send a message to Westminster about whether they care about this or not. Now, look, it's a high-risk strategy. They think they're going to win. The last person that did this sort of similar style of forcing a by-election on an issue was Zach Goldsmith, who was against the expansion of Heathrow Airport. He was a South West London MP. He lost that by-election. He was seen by the public to have been, sort of almost greedy, sort of taking taxpayers' money for advantage by forcing this sort of vanity election on the people. Now, it has worked in the past. David Davis, the former Tory Shadow Home Secretary, surprised everyone in about 2007 by suddenly announcing he was going to have a by-election on civil liberties. Now, that slightly backfired because all the other political parties decided that they were going to sit that one out. So he was just sort of nodded through and was accused of wasting taxpayers' money, but he did win that seat. Now, it's going to be really interesting whether the Labour Party and whether the Conservative Party, don't forget the Conservatives once held this seat in Clacton, will resist the chance of sitting this one out, or whether they will go after Farage as an opportunity to try and end him once and for all. Farage made the point there, he's been ahead in the opinion polls for the last 350 polls. This is a gamble. I suspect, Labour will not be able to sit this one out with any real credibility, especially with a new Prime Minister coming in as a big test. A new Prime Minister who hasn't been tested at the ballot box beyond 20,000 people voting for him in Makerfield. This could be a chance to see whether that proof of concept, as Andy Burnham supporters call it, that he's a man that can beat reform, really can take place. But a boiling angry Nigel Farage, who has said enough is enough. He's going to take this issue, this stone that's been around his neck for a couple of months now, and try and use it to hurl directly at the establishment, as he puts it, that he says are stitching him up.